Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is She's Gotta Have It, Season 1, Episode 8. And the name of this episode is Love Don't Pay the Rent If You Don't Know Me By Now. This was a really damn good episode. But before I get started, let me offer my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by the bombing in New York, as well as everyone that was affected by the tragedy in Texas, as well as Las Vegas. Also, the people that were affected by the hurricanes Harvey, Irma, Jose, and Maria. If you can give any kind of relief or support to the people that were affected by these tragedies, please do so, because we need to be there for our fellow man, and we should definitely, bring charity to those who are in need. Alright, now let me get started with this episode because it starts off with a bang. This episode starts off with Trump becoming president and how everyone was affected by it. We see the mayor, who's the homeless guy in Fort Greene, and he's also friends with Nola. We see him going off saying that, fuck you, Trump, you ain't my presidente. And he's just going in. We see that, Nola is sitting with her girlfriends. They smoking, they drinking, and they eating. She's there with Clorinda, Shaneka, and Vicky, who's the white friend of hers. And they're all just sitting there drinking, and they all just look like, they're just over the bullshit. And, they're also showing all these clips, of Trump throughout his presidency, as well as, some of the turbulent times that we experienced as black people being in America, and how Trump being in president is like the clown trying to bring back, those, negative times, and those, who's pretty much bringing back those negative times and that negative philosophy that that blacks are inferior. And then we even see that it's kind of funny. They even showed a clip with they even showed a picture with Donald Trump with Omarosa and Ben Carson. And didn't Omarosa just get fired? Ah! Shout out to Angela. She did that on CNN. That had me rolling. That was so funny. Even Robin Roberts was like, oh yeah, she's talking about, she has a story, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be trying to sell that story. Bye, Felicia. Shout out to Robin Roberts, too. So, yeah, definitely we're starting to see this administration literally crumble before our eyes in a way. And all these token blacks who thought they were in there, they're being shown the door. Recently, Omarosa. And Ben Carson, you're next. Just saying. But yeah, we're seeing how everyone's affected by Trump becoming president. Nola's parents, her mother breaks down. Dr. Jameson, is like, oh, Trump being president? Oh, I would like to have a session with him. I would like to have a few sessions with him, and I'll even do it for free. I'm like, you better go, Dr. Jameson. She's like, I will read his ass for filth. And then we see Jamie, Cheryl, and Virgil. We see them walking as a family, and that they're affected by Trump becoming president. Greer's so mad that he's just working out. Mars and his sister, Mars' sister is a spiritualist, and she does like this spiritual prayer, and she hugs him, that they have protection during these hard times. And we see Rockaletta Moss. She has a picture of Barack Obama, and we see Nola paint a picture of, of the first black family, Barack and Michelle and the girls. And it was just like a real moving episode that looked, Obama was literally trying to bring the country together, but yet under Trump, the country is more divided than ever. And, they was playing this song called, 'Cause the Real Clown Got the Nuclear Code. Usually fascism and craziness starts when you put somebody crazy in power. So, I think Spike Lee was trying to like hit that nail on top of the head with that idea. So we pretty much see that after that we see that Greer actually reaches out to Nola Greer's in the tub and everything, and he was saying that, why did you run off the other night, and if anything, I want to come over and see you. And she agrees for him to come over. He comes over, right, and they're sitting on the stoop, and I have to say, the outfit that Nola was wearing with that coat, she looked flawless. Like, the Wanda Wise is so beautiful, and she's literally setting, this fashion trend with her character Nola Darling, because Nola be looking fierce. And she's very artsy, so she's very creative, not only in her art, but also in her wardrobe. So she's looking good, and then we see that damn Greer comes over, he takes off his coat, and he literally has a black penis sewn to his pants, like a black pillow, and the shit is hilarious, because she's just getting her life from it. And pretty much they sit down and talk, and he asked her, like, why did you run out the other night? And she said that I had to go see a sick friend. And he's like, oh, so how's he doing? And she says, well, she is doing fine, thank you very much. And, and pretty much she also lets him know that one of her paintings sold, and, she just got the check, and she deposited it in her account. And we know from the last episode, the person who bought the painting was Jamie. And pretty much they also talk about, he pretty much talks about the real meaning of this, Black Johnson being sold to his pants, where he's got like this Black Mandingo thing going. He was saying that, this is a message that all black men have been sending all this time, that we will not be restricted, we will not be held down, we will rise from the ashes, and, we're the best men on this planet, pretty much. And he was pretty much calling them, like, free Johnson slacks, so Nola was getting a trip out of it, and we've never seen her laugh like this with nobody other than Mars. So we're seeing that she's starting to get closer to Greer in a different way. And he's pretty much saying that, look, won't we go out and get something to eat? And she's like, oh no, I'm not going nowhere with you dressed like that. He says, who says that we have to go anywhere? And who says that we have to have our clothes on? Next thing you know, we see Nola and Greer getting it, and they literally getting in while they standing up on the bed, and he got her in that spot, and she's like, oh, Overstreet! I'm like, you crazy bitch! This is the second time she did this shit. She called Jamie Mars, and now she done called Greer Jamie. Well, called him by Jamie's last name. And he's like, Overstreet? What the hell is Overstreet? She's like, huh? She's like, you just called me Overstreet. And then she plays it off again. She's like, oh, I'm just saying, you were going 120 miles, when the speed limit was 55 miles per hour. I mean, it's Overstreet, baby. Slow down. I'm like, bitch! I was like, Nola is good. She's very good. Because she be slipping, calling these dudes the wrong name, and she always has a comeback, and they completely blow it off. So I thought that was hilarious. So then she was saying, like, okay, well, you have to go now. I got things to do, so I'll holler at you later. And he's like, oh, so what is it? You gonna invite one of them other motherfuckers, over here? And she was like, do you really want me to get mad at you right now? And he's like, no, I won't. I'll see you later. So it's like, Joe was crazy, but it just goes to show you that, yeah, they kind of got that, they have that great sexual chemistry. So he kind of goes on his way. Then we see that Cheryl is sitting by the waterfront, and we see that she's like crying or whatever, like she's emotional. And the question is why? Next, we see that Jamie's at his office, and he goes into his office and see that his wife is there. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, And he's like, he's like, how you doing? How you doing? He's like, this is a surprise. She's like, yeah. You want to have another, session, in the shower like we did the other night? He's like, well, I'm always game for that. And she's like, yeah, I know you are, because you're like an escape artist. You're always trying to find something to get away or to set yourself apart, something to run away to. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you talking to me like this? And she pulls out her phone, and it's a copy of the painting of Nola's painting. And he's like, who is she? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, who the hell is she? Like, what the hell is this? And he's like, what the hell are you doing going in my room? And she's like, yeah, it's your room, but it's in the brownstone that we both own. Also the brownstone that my family helped us pay for. And he's like, man, I paid them time over after that. So stop all the bullshit. So why are you in my room? And she says, well, actually, Virgil was in your room looking for a tie, for something at school. He found your blue tie, and he saw the painting, and he let me know about it. So who the hell is she? And he said that, and she says, also, I checked the books and found out that there was a check written for $10,000 to a Nola Darling. Who the hell is this? And she's saying that, look, it's just a painting. She's a great artist. I love the painting. That's why I bought it. She's like, and she's not buying it. She's not buying any of it. She's like, are you fucking this girl? And she looks kind of young. And he's like, she's 27. He's like, oh. So she's like, oh, you know the age. So are you fucking her? She's like, he's like, so are you fucking this girl? And he's like, no. She's like, well, I'm assuming it's a yes. And he's like, well, when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. So, and she's like, okay, fine. Are you fucking this bum bitch? And he just cracks up laughing. He's like, girl, you so damn bougie. You even proper when you talk. I mean, calling her a bum bitch, really? And that sounds like something that you don't learn in the AKA. Because she's an AKA. She obviously she went to Ivy League school, and she's a part of a fraternity, and pretty much but pretty much she was like, oh, so therefore, like, after that, Cheryl is just not here for it. She's like, oh, so here it is, you messing around with this 27-year-old woman, and you're a 40-year-old man. I mean, and I can definitely tell you that you're definitely not the only man that this girl is fucking. And, which is true. And then she says that, if anything, I should expect this from a man from Brownsville. I mean, I know men will, men will be men, but I should expect this from a dude, I should expect this from a dude coming from Brownsville. And he was like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? And she says, it means that you're nothing but a climber. And he's like, yeah. And you gave me the ladder. And she's like, yep. And I said, this confirmed everything I said about them in the, I think it was episode 3, where I pretty much clocked that she was a come-up chick. That she came from a rich family, he came from the hood, them two came together, and, he climbed the corporate ladder, and now that's one of the reasons why he's keeping a marriage. They have a lot of status, and people know them as a unit. They know them as the Overstreet family. So they have a lot of, so their family is also a part of his business. And I clocked that yeah, she was a come up. And she said that, yeah, I gave you everything you had. You climbed up the ladder, you used all of my parents', connections, I gave you your business, I gave you your life, I took you out of obscurity, I gave you a son. And he's like, no, I gave you a son. I gave you excitement. And I gave you a new, and yeah, this boy from Brownsville gave you a whole new thrill. I'm like, okay, Jenny, you clocking back. And then she's like, oh, so is Nola your soulmate? Just like the other girl from 2 years ago was your soulmate, and the other one she dated were her soulmate, or were your soulmate? I mean, what the hell is this? What the hell is up with you? How many soulmates does one man have? How many soulmates can one man have? And he pretty much tells her, spontaneity is everything. Yo, he just literally shut her down and pretty much told her to her face that she's a boring bitch. So she was done, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to be home late, make sure our son eats, and she was just through. She was over it, but we definitely know she was going to do something, because the fact that he told her spontaneity was everything, yeah, that hit her to her core, because he literally told her she's boring as hell. So we next see Nola is on cloud 9 because she got that $10,000 check that she deposited in her account. So now she's going out shopping for her, getting all of her art material. She goes to pay for it, and the card declined. She ran it again and declined again. So she pretty much tells her, like, won't you try the ATM? She's like, I can't. That's not going to work for me today. But she says that, look, maybe you need to call your bank and find out what's going on. Next, we see Miss Ella is sitting out on the stoop, and she is mad as hell. And pretty much Nola comes in. She's like, hey, Miss Ella. She said, don't miss hey Ella me. Sit right there on my stoop. She was saying, you know why we meeting, right? And she's like, yes, I know about. She's like, yeah, the check bounced. She says that, look, I'm running a business, and you are messing with my business, Nola. And she gives her the lowdown. She's like, look, when you leave this building, I can probably get 4 times more money by renting that to a white person than what you paying now. So let me break it down for you. You need to get your shit together. You a grown-ass woman, and you got 2 days to give me my money, or get you a moving truck, or all of your shit is going to be out here in the front. So she is mad because now her livelihood is in jeopardy, because she paid her rent and the damn check bounced because there was insufficient funds in her account. So she checked her account. She calls Jamie and she goes off. And she says, first of all, that money you gave me was not a loan. That was payment for my work. And what the hell happened that check got stopped? And Jamie's like, no, I don't know what it is. I had nothing to do with this. Believe me. She's like, what? So tell me, did your wife have something to do with this? And he's like, why would you think that? And she said, what is it? That I'm just like some call girl that you pay, that you can come and screw whenever you want, and then you can just screw me over? And like, I'm just getting sick and tired of assholes like you letting me down. And he's like, why would you say that to me? She's like, look, I'm over the bullshit now. Give me, so she pretty much says that since you ain't gonna pay me, you need to bring back my art ASA motherfucking P. And I was like, ooh, Nola was pissed. And I'll understand it, because somebody fuck with your livelihood like that. You bought the painting, but then somehow somebody stopped the check. But we know Cheryl did that shit because Cheryl was bitter and she's mad. And obviously, he's more into Nola than she's into her. So, and due to the fact that he wrote the check from their joint account, she got access to that money so she can stop it if she wants to. So, now, pretty much, Jamie's shit is now coming to the surface about his whole interaction with Nola, and now Cheryl is on to it. So, she done stopped that money, and it just literally shut everything down. But what we see that she ends up doing is that she starts selling her artwork, in front of her building, and then we also see that she's, walking dogs for some of the rich white folks in the city. So she's pretty much out there hustling, trying to get this rent money, and she's got about like 10 jobs. I mean, that's why they call New York like the Empire, the Empire State of Mind, because it's a very entrepreneurial society where you can find different kind of hustles where you can make money. And it's actually, one of the most real ways to make real money is having that entrepreneurial mindset. So we see that in this episode she taps into that, And we also see that she runs into the mayor, who's the homeless guy, who's her friend, and, pretty much we see that both of them are kind of like in the same space, because we kind of seen in this scene that she's trying to hustle to make it, and so is he. So it's like they're in the same space, even though he's homeless and she doesn't, and she's not homeless, but they're both in that same space where they're all trying to hustle to survive. They're trying to go from one hustle to the next. And we actually see that, it's really starting to wear her down. Then we get a scene where, Nola's at work, and she runs into Miss Rockaletta Moss. And Rockaletta Moss kind of tells that Noah's going through it. So she pretty much says that, it's either three things that's bothering you. Either, time, she pretty much saying that, either, time has, either time has lapsed, or, or pretty much she says that either time in your mattress with he and all is kind of getting stale, or you're suffering from hustleitis. And she says, yes, the latter, hustleitis. And she was saying that, look, you need to keep your head up, girl. Work the hustle. Don't let the hustle work you. And, and she tells her that she's a winner. And she encourages her, and she says that, oh, yeah, and no crying at work. And we see that her and Rockaletta Moss have definitely connected. And this is cool because, Rockaletta Moss talks about herself in third person. And we even see that early in the episode, Nola did the same thing when she was talking to Greer. And she's like, why are you talking about yourself in third person? She's like, oh, it's the Rockaletta effect. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then we see that she's talking with Mars. Mars lets her know that her artwork has gotten over 50,000 hits on Instagram. And she says, well, who cares? It's not paying my bills. And it was like, I cannot believe they stopped that check. And she's like, I feel like I'm going through Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong. And, pretty much she's saying that, and then he brings up that whole dude Onyx. And then she kind of shows a picture of his hand. He has like this Black Widow spider that's tattooed on his hand. So he's saying that, look, that's a sign that's evil that's trying to taint what you're trying to do. So he pretty much says that, look, you need to, see my sister. She can kind of give you a cleansing, which will clean all of those negative spirits that are trying to come for you. And then we actually see that Nola meets her with her parents. If anything, we actually see that Nola and Mars kind of get together. She's like, can I warm it? She's like, yeah. Can I warm it? Yeah. It's like, can I smell it? The fool is crazy. But then we actually see that Nola goes to her parents. Her father, her mom's like, I wish we can help you out, but we just paid the mortgage. We don't have any money. But the father gave us some money and said that, look, this is a gift, not a loan. And she said, Dad, I'll pay you back the money. And he was saying that, but she says that, I'm about to go have a cleansing. And the father's like, a cleansing? What? And she's saying, yeah, I'm going to have a Europa cleansing. And the father was dead set against it, but then the mother kind of checked and was like, you had your own, you had your own moments where you kind of ventured out and did your own thing. Why are you trying to stop your daughter from doing that? And then it gets to the point she's like, I love you, honey, but you're an asshole sometimes. So I thought that was cute. I mean, but yeah, shout out to Dra Lee. I mean, because she's also one of the writers on this series as well, and she's Spike Lee's sister. And I just say she's aged very well. She still looks flawless. Then we actually see that Jamie goes to visit somebody, and guess who he goes to visit? Winnie Wen. And I'm like, who knew that the two of these motherfuckers knew each other? Because they're from two different worlds, or so we thought. We actually come to find out that Jamie and Winnie used to hustle with each other back in the day. Winnie tried to become this big selling rapper, but he only had one hit. And that, Jamie has been a silent partner in the Hot to Trot, franchise. The Hot to Trot business, I meant. So he comes there to ask for, and pretty much his little nickname that Jamie had was Jay Gats. And they've known each other for over 8 years. And pretty much, he was saying that, look, Jamie pretty much says that, look, I need 10 stacks, and I want out as a silent partner because you getting real sloppy up in here. That whole situation with Shemeka, that was crazy. And he says that, man, that's the least of your problems, bruh. I mean, you just think you can just bail on me like this? I mean, think about all the shit I did for you. I did time for your ass and all this shit. He's like, yeah, and you were well compensated for that, and I was a juvie at the time. But then he was saying that, but he said, but think about it though. There's certain crimes you did back in the day, there's no statute of limitations. And he's like, yo, do you really think you can have the balls to say that shit to me? And then, he's coked up, but when he went, it's hilarious. He's like, man, you talking all this shit, because if I go down, you go down too, Jamie. When I met you, you used to talk like a fucking white boy. I gave you your hood cred. You think you up here, looking like a seltzer water with no fizz. And I was like, this fool is lunching. So then he's like, yo, I can't believe you're going to come in here and going to shake me down like this, yo. We're going too far, you coming up in here talking all this bullshit. So he goes and gets the 10 stacks out the safe and shit. And then he just sits down and was like, fuck you, Jamie. And hands him the money. I was like, oh shit, when he went is hilarious, yo. Fat Joe is playing the hell out of this role. And I just literally laugh every time I see him because he is just such a character. He grimy as shit, but then again, he gets to this moment. He gets his moments when he'll just cuss you out, and he gives Jamie the money. So Jamie now got the 10,000, because his wife stopped that check, so he got it another way. I mean, hey, that's how Jamie works. Then we actually get a scene with Mars actually runs into Clorinda, and she tells him, and he tells her that, look, Nola needs help, and she says, I've helped Nola as best as I can, but it's only but so much I can do. But he's saying that, look, she needs help. She's having like money problems. And then somebody is actually trying to ruin the street art that she's been doing. And she's like, street art? What you talking about? She said, the things like, I'm not a slut. Like my name is not slut. My name is not old girl. And all of that art. That's Nola. And someone. And when she talks about, someone is trying to ruin her art and trying to ruin everything she's trying to do. So now Clorinda knows about the art, the street art, something that Mars was not supposed to tell her, but now Clorinda knows. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that now that Clorinda knows about that artwork that has become famous, because we even saw in this episode that people that Onyx, who tried to ruin her art, this prompted people to write in the actual words that Nola had written. So it's created somewhat of a revolution. And, Nola is actually at the center of it, but Nola doesn't want to be known. It's kind of like, how Basquiat was with Samo when he would do all of this graffiti throughout the city, and Samo was the signing, but all of it was Basquiat. And it pretty much, led, to him becoming a big sensation in the art world. So we actually see that after that, we see that Nola finally runs into Miss Ella. She's finally hustled up all the money. She's only $20 short, but Miss Ella said, don't worry about it, we'll attach it to next month's rent. She's like, girl, I understand you out here hustling, doing your thing, but just make sure you pay me my rent on time, because at the end of the day, it's business. And I get that. But then she says, oh yeah, you got a package upstairs. She goes upstairs, and it's actually wrapped up, and it's a picture of her art, and also attached to it is a letter, saying he apologized, and pretty much from Jamie, saying that he apologized, and you know, I really want to make this right, and hopefully this can compensate for everything, and then side with the $10,000. So now she got $10,000 in cash. Her rent is already paid, and she got the artwork back. So a lot is going on in Nola's mind. Like, one, where the hell did Jamie get that kind of money from, and he gave it to her in cash? Second, it's obvious that it's kind of coming to her mind that what really happened was that his wife found out about her, and that's what stopped the check. But him being loyal to her found a way to get her that money because, you know, he loved her worth and he loves her. So we're going to see what's going to happen with this. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on my other social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and also check out my GoFundMe link in that description box as well. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of She's Gotta Have It. Yo, guys, I'm really loving this show. So until next time, everybody, take care.